Alright guys, welcome back to the Piston Slap channel. It's going to be my final how-to for the winter season. I've got 8 days to get this bike back together and ready to go. So the final thing we got left to install is this jumper harness for flash tune. Now what this will enable me to do is once it's on the bike, anybody that has a flash tune software would be able to plug into this end of the connector and then flash whatever I need into my ECU, turning off that servo, the exhaust butterfly valve, my air intake valve, anything else that I might need. They can adjust your cooling fan temp. If you're going for a custom tune, they can tune for the air and fuel, spark, whatever. So like I'd put up for my Graves slip-on video, Graves has a map already up that's got the fuel and the spark already adjusted for this bike, plus has the things that's turned off. So this is going to be pretty straightforward. I'm going to cut a lot of things out as far as, like how to remove the seat, because obviously if you're installing this, you probably already know how to remove your seat. If you have your butterfly valve in, obviously it's going to be a bit harder than what it would be for me because of where your ECU is located. So let's go ahead and get into this. First, what you're going to need to do, and these are the instructions that I've got from FlashTune. I don't know if they're available on the internet or not, but it says basically locate your ECU. Well, on the ZX6R for the 13 through 16, your ECU is actually going to be down in here. So your back seat would be here, your tail section and back seat would be here. There'd be some paneling to be removed. Anyway, we're not really removing the ECU. I'm just going to leave it in the bike. I'm just going to unplug the black connector. So the black connector for my bike is on the left-hand side of it if you were sitting on the bike. And obviously, if you look at it, it's the only black one. You have gray and you have black. So what I did was I took a pocket screwdriver, just a standard screwdriver, and just kind of stuck it down there. And just with pushing on the tab, just kind of work the connector back a little bit. Let's go ahead and pop the gray connector off too as well. That'll give us some more room. You can see what I did was I just stuck the screwdriver down in here, and then just between the body of the connector and the ECM, just kind of turn the screwdriver to push it back. All right. So here's my black connector, guys. You can see these red dots. Those are the blinking plates. We need to remove those, and it'll call it out in the instructions. We also need to remove this upper, I think they call it a CPA. Let's get the hokey light out. Hokey light. Alright, so the back part that they're talking about is back here. I believe I see some. Basically what that'll do is it'll slide down the wiring. You're going to need a small screwdriver, what we call pocket screwdrivers. Something like that. You don't want to get violent with this, guys. It's plastic and it plugs into your ECU, so if you screw it up, you're gonna ruin the harness of your bike. So this is another one of my how-to videos. If you don't feel comfortable doing it, don't do it. Take it to a professional, let them do it. The way that's showed is if the connector was completely empty, so we would be down here. These three guys right here next to this green wire, so these red plugs need to come out. Okay guys, the plugs, what I did was I just took my pocket screwdriver and just kind of worked them out like that. It says insert ECU pins into the unpopulated pins, positions as followed in figure 2, then connect the ground eyelet to the chassis or battery ground. Let's see here, we got a note. Displays ECU connector with the backing plate inserted to the connector. The ECU pins will need to be facing upwards to seat properly. Alright, so they're called out in the colors. So the first one is going to be the orange one, and it needs to face in the upward position. So up being this little hole right here where my fingertip is would be facing towards the tab. So my connector is upside down right now. So we'll take that guy, push him through. If you guys listen really carefully, I don't know if the microphone's going to pick it up, but you can see how the cut, because my connector's upside down, so the way the description is well, in a perfect world. But once it's in like that, and then you just kind of give it a little wiggle test and make sure it's in. Go ahead and put the clip back on. That's pretty much it, guys, and figure out where you're going to run your this guy. For me, I'm going to put him in my tail section, so it's easy for anybody that needs to do tuning. Before we route it, let's go ahead and plug it back into the ECU. And when you're doing this, guys, you want to try to make sure that this connector is as even and flat as possible as it's going back in, because you don't want to bend your tabs or your pins in the ECU itself. Alright, guys, and that's pretty much going to wrap it up for the Flash Tune connector install to ECM. It's quite simple. If you have any questions about it, go ahead and shoot me a comment in the section below. I won't be doing like a how-to video on the flashing part of it, because that's out of my hands. For the software end of it, that's going to be another guy that I'm going to be taking it to. If you're local in the Boise area and you watch my videos and stuff, and you want to know, the guy that does it can flash all sorts of makes and models. I don't know, but if you drop me a comment and I see it, I can get you guys connected with him if you're interested in getting your bikes flashed. As for what I've got going on, like I said, that's about it for today. I'm going to go ahead and finish getting the whole bike back together and ready to go for the riding season. If you like what you guys have seen today, go ahead and hit that like button. Subscribe for future moto vlogs, how-tos, riding with music, whatever it is that I come up with. That's about it, guys. So like I said, again, thank you for tuning in to the Piston Slap channel. I'm Robert. Have a good day.